I hope I can do it well. Anyway, the outline of the presentation is the study area, water resources in Kurdistan region, and water resources problems in Kurdistan region, water resources management of Kurdistan region. Kurdistan region, in fact, it lies northeast part of Iraq, as you can see in this map. And in fact, the annual rainfall, it varies from 1,500 millimeters to about 200 millimeters in the south west of the region. And Kurdistan region water resources are mainly depending on, of course, catchment area of several rivers, and the area is about 79,000 square kilometers, 30 out of which 38% is located outside Kurdistan, mainly in Turkey and Iran, and the rest is in Iraq. If we talk about the average annual rainfall in this region, it's about 517 millimeters. And this corresponds to a volume of 25.1 cubic kilometers. Surface water resources, they are, of course, from the tributaries of the Tigris. The first one is this one, Khabur, and the second one is this, Greater Zab, Lesser Zab, and then you have these small tributaries, and finally, Sirwan. The first one, Khabur, which is mainly in Turkey, in fact, you have the surface area or the catchment area of this tributary about 6,011 square kilometers, and 55% of this catchment area lies in Turkey, the rest in Kurdistan region. And the annual discharge is about 2,145 million cubic per meters. The second one, which is the greatest, in fact, this is Greater Zab. It covers an area of 26,077 square kilometers, of which 33% in Turkey and the rest in Kurdistan. And the discharge, annual discharge, is about 10,891 million cubic meters. It's almost the same as the discharge of the river Tigris when it meets this Greater Zab. Lesser Zab, in fact, it covers an area of 16,066 square kilometers. 26% of this area lies in Iran, and the annual discharge is 4,680 million cubic meters. And then we have two small rivers. The catchment area lies totally in Kurdistan region or in Iraq, and they cover an area of 4,935 square kilometers, and the annual discharge is 297 million cubic meters. In fact, these two rivers, they are almost drying 9 months a year, and only 3 months you have a flow in them. And finally, Sirwan River covers an area of 23,035 square kilometers, 63% of this area in Iran, and the rest is in Iraq. And the annual discharge is 3,016 million cubic meters. And this slide shows the percentage of these catchments inside and outside Kurdistan. And in this slide, in fact, it summarizes the flow, total flow, and its percentage in Iraq and Kurdistan region. Then we have the groundwater resources in Kurdistan region. We have several areas, in fact, or several basins. These are the basins, groundwater basins within Kurdistan region. And the first one is Sulaimanyah Shahrzur Basin. This is a geological map of the area, and here is the main aquifers, in fact, and their type and thicknesses within that basin. The second one is Arbat Hormal Basin. This is the geological map of the basin, and here is the type of aquifers and their thicknesses in that basin. And the third one is Schwarta-Panjwin Basin. This is the geological map of the area, and here is type of aquifers within that basin. Fourth one is Qaradagh-Kalar Basin. This is the geological map, and these are the type of aquifers within that basin. And fifth is Saradash-Koya Basin. This is the geological map, and these are the type of aquifers within that basin. And this map, in fact, it shows the groundwater level and the flow lines, in general flow lines of groundwater within Kurdistan region. And groundwater subsurface resources mainly are from major springs and of course from water wells within the area. If we are talking about the springs, these are the name of the springs, catchment area of each spring, and the discharge and the type of aquifer for each spring. And this is continuation of the springs. And this is one of the major springs in Sulaimanyah area, and shows you the water level change within the rainfall at a certain period of time. Water wells, you can see the number of wells, they are very large. Number of wells mainly for irrigation. You have 23,500 wells, followed by 14,000 wells for drinking water, industry, 1,500 animal products factory, 1,000, and there are illegal wells, 20,000. So the overall number is about 60,000 wells. Of course, one of the main problems which faces not only Kurdistan but Iraq in general, it's the building of dams. And in fact, in Turkey there are plenty of dams, and of course Syria and Iran. And there are plenty of problems concerning these dams, in fact, political problems and all kinds of problems. And there are plenty of friction and conflict between Syria, Turkey, and Iraq due to the shortage of water and impounding of dams. And there were plenty of occasions that these countries were on the verge of war due to this problem. But it's continuing a problem, in fact, and you can see that there are plenty of dams built in Turkey and Iran. They did their part. They converted even one of the major tributaries to Shatt al-Arab River in Iraq. They diverted all the water to Iran. And they are taking advantage of the weakness of the government of Iraq, really. And this is just to show you existing and planned dams in the region, the major ones, the big ones, and this is just to show you what you have in Turkey just now. Of course, one of the problems facing Kurdistan region is the increase of water demand due to an increase of human population. The rate of population growth is more than 3%, which is very high. Really, industrial development. The country under Saddam Hussein regime was, of course, controlled, and there were plenty of war and fighting. But now it's stable, so you expect plenty of industrial development. And of course, there is also plenty of production growth, exploitation for oil and other minerals. Development of irrigation and agricultural activities coupled with the increase in human population. So the demand, the estimated demand criteria for Sulaimanyah area, for example, you can see how it is according to this table. And if we look at the population growth rate within years, you can see that at 2030, the population will be almost doubled. And that means, of course, you will need plenty of water to cover this population growth rate. And these are just figures to show you how much the water demand will be in future. And this table, in fact, it summarizes domestic needs, irrigation needs, which are of course, the irrigation needs are much more than any other need. It's about 90% of the need. And in future expectation. So it's all the figures, if you look at them, it's almost, it will be double. Of course, what are the existing problems in Kurdistan region? It's the increase of groundwater extraction due to rapid and systematic increasing of wells, as we said. I'll be quick. And you can see the distribution of wells, how many wells there are. And if we look at the figures, 40,000 wells are legal wells, 20,000 are illegal. And then you have another problem of developing oil industry in Kurdistan region, which is polluting groundwater resources and dumping of wastewater. Of course, it's another cause. And lack, in fact, of sustainable rules for Governorate to manage the water resources, no regulations, in fact, insufficient research in groundwater field. And the Governorate should try to sign some sort of long agreement with other countries to overcome the water problem. And they are supposed to prepare some workable policy to manage the water resources, because there is no water resources management. Aquifer management regarding, in fact, he is proposing artificial recharge of aquifers. Also, he's proposing collection of water from the valleys, alluvial valleys within the area. Creating regional master plan. We don't have any master plan in Iraq to manage the water resources, and we should avoid over-exploration of the water. The application of groundwater protection measures are absent, in fact. And thank you. I hope I wasn't too
Thank you very much.